All right, we're here. I wanted to talk about these 3D printed cars that we were working on for the Part Detective, because it's just a great example of multicolor plastic 3D printing, and a lot more people with Bambus and even Prusas like I have are doing this kind of stuff. So I wanted to dive more into how design can help you drive your part success with all of these. So first of all, we wanted to go with like an Ace Ventura part detective, pet detective theme. So this is our take on it. And this was fun, right? I got to, for the first time ever, 3D print my face in color, which was just a fun experience. And it came out really good. This was printed on a 250 micron nozzle, so kind of the high resolution nozzle. And these are, unlike the Bambu, this is a whole bunch of different plastics, so all the settings are different, and this is actually PET. So this came out really good. I love the raised little cube here and the wrench, but on a 250 nozzle, this is a really, really solid card. Obviously some settings need to be dialed in, but hey, it looks great. But you can see here with the design using just the 400 nozzle, it's just not quite enough detail, right? At least for the design. So, you know, if I was to be my own customer for the Part Detective, I would say that, you know, if you're going to go with the 400 nozzle, we're going to have to change this design up, because these different areas here are just too thin for that 400 nozzle. You know, we can get the 250, we can get the detail we're looking for, but for something like this, you know, your best option, your cheapest, quickest option is to change that design. And that's kind of what we did with this second design, with more of like the Dick Tracy silhouette, you know, detective look. This whole thing was designed basically around the 400 nozzle, 400 micron nozzle, kind of the standard nozzle. And it's cool, right? We added all the different aspects of what the Part Detective can do, and what we can help provide you, 83D-printing.com, shameless plug. But you can see, you know, still, this is PLA. These are a bunch of different profiles. And again, if I was my own customer here, I would focus in, otherwise it's really good, but up here, aside from the fact that the font is maybe a little bit too small, because basically it's so easy just to say that this is actually the Fart Detective. So I would make this bigger. Thank you, comments and YouTube. Always finding the truth, whether we want it or not. But for 400, most of these details are actually really good. The biggest thing here is the size of this text. So maybe dial in the settings here for this part so that the tool paths fit a little bit better. You know, you can see on this one how the tool paths fit really nicely. There aren't a ton of gaps. There's maybe a tiny gap there, tiny gap there in the background, but I don't care about that. On this bigger version, on the 400 nozzle, we've got some gaps here and here. So, you know, for the 400 at those settings, you know, gaps here, maybe there's some more things we want to do, but really, these look awesome. So at the end of the day, you can always find more things to work on, but it really does come down to, like, what are you looking for? What's your expectation? And then what printer are you using? What device are you using? Like, we can figure out the rest of this, right? Like, we can work around this, but let's start somewhere and start based on your process, and we'll dial it in from there. So that's the Part Detective. Just a quick example of like what we can do on our own parts, and that's what we're going to do with the Part Detective case files. We're going to break down all these different projects. You'll see a blog post about this here in the future, but we're trying to show how design and custom settings and printers, and even just planning ahead of time for the process, can just make you so much more successful in the future here. So we're here for your next 3D printing mystery. Hit us up, ag3d-printing.com. Email us at ag3dpartdetective@gmail.com. Start the conversation. If you're ready, book a 30-minute session with us at the Part Detective. The link is at ag3d-printing.com, and it should be in all our blog posts. So ag3d-printing.com, Part Detective. Let's crack the case of your next 3D printing mystery. Have a good one.